YouTube. Oh, you know what? I think YouTube is having some trouble. That's why it was down earlier, or it was
Oh,
slow.
okay.
Let's see. Is YouTube down? Is YouTube
Well,
down?
as long as we're on Facebook Live, I mean,
We're on Facebook Live and we're on Twitch. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
we're
that's
back.
fine.
We're back on YouTube. I don't. It's probably not gonna get the whole show, but that's cool.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah. Ooh, as a matter of fact, they are. Ooh, wow. Yep, they are having some problems. Well, whatever. It shows we're back on. So we're
Better
good.
call the Kremlin.
Comrade, can you please let me stream my show on YouTube? Because in Soviet Russia, show streams you.
I'm not.
Okay, sorry.
I'm not trying to infer that there would be any Russian interference.
No, not at
Trying
all. No,
No,
no, of course not.
no,
Never. It would
never.
never happen.
No, never
Not in this
happened.
not in this day and
No,
age. No,
never.
certainly not. Anyways, we won't get into that kind of stuff. Hey,
No, no.
but what are we talking about? So okay, the what if.
So
I'm excited about that. You got some Kenobi
yeah,
news. Loki, you're gonna talk a little bit about Loki.
yeah.
And what's going on with Zack Snyder?
Oh man, I can't drop that yet. It's so good.
Okay.
So before we get into everything, let's be sure to thank our partners at Pharaoh Rose Designs and also Bad Customs for, as always, working with us and
Hey,
all the cool stuff they have.
Brianna's
She's
been
been
she's been doing
she's
some
been trailblazing. She's what I call
yeah.
Bad Customs, and Brianna has been what I call trailblazing lately.
She's been doing
Been
some
trailblazing.
some
Some
shows.
market shows.
Yeah,
Yep.
some market shows.
That's
Good. In San
so.
Antonio?
I believe it was in San Antonio.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we need to get her on.
Yeah,
Big
she's got to show us some. I mean, because if you follow her Facebook and her Instagram, she posts more on Facebook, I see. But if you follow it, I mean, she's making some just really really cool stuff and relevant for the holidays that are coming up. I know she made a little bit of Fiesta stuff for the watered down version of Fiesta you had last month.
Mhm.
But I'm really excited to see the kind of stuff that she's going to come up with for April of next year
Yeah,
for full
I
blown
need to
Fiesta.
I need to reach out back to Brianna. I need to reach out back to Renee also, and
Uh huh.
we need to get those guys on with Halloween coming up.
Yeah.
Halloween, I think, is going to be the big thing
Oh, that's good, and that's great.
between now and, I mean, because August, not much going on.
Eh,
Labor Day, not much to do there. I mean,
no,
so
no, there's not a whole lot, and that's okay because this is if everything continues to go well, as far as our COVID situation goes, if we start, continuing to open up and get more back to normal, quote unquote.
well,
Yeah, we're gonna have good. We're gonna have a good holiday season, But here's something interesting, and I kind of wanted to get your take on this. Is that I read an article on the Express News how some of the restaurants down in the Riverwalk have been struggling to find employees.
mhm.
And from my understanding, Casario, the very historic and popular restaurant down there, is closed until Friday of next week, I think. And I think it has to do with that they haven't been able to have enough people to work. It's interesting.
Well, I mean, you factor in that a whole lot of folks that were laid off
Mm-hmm.
went and found alternate means of employment, and a lot of them are working from home,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them are making even more than what they made before at the restaurants. So
Yeah.
why would they go back?
Exactly.
So restaurants need to up their game, and they need to consider.
Incentivizing.
I mean, they need incentives for people to go back. I mean, other than tips aren't going to do it anymore, folks. If you're a restaurant and you're telling your staff, hey, you're going to make a ton of tips. Nope.
Yeah,
Not
what's
not in a post-COVID environment.
yeah,
Not going to work.
You know what's so interesting about that? I mean, is that we do that here, but you don't really do that anywhere else in the Western world. I mean, I know in Central and South America they do, but you go to Europe and you go to the UK, they don't do that.
And I'm going to be that. I'm going to be that guy right now. By the way, I'm going to be that guy.
No, be that guy.
If you're out there right now and you're tipping 20%,
Mm-hmm.
shame on you. shame on you, because right now in a post-COVID environment, 20% tips, that might as well be 15. I mean, every, you know, do them a solid and give them a 25% tip. It won't.
Well, I mean, look,
it's an extra 5%, man. It's an extra 5%. Just do it.
I think, you know, I have some mixed feelings about the whole tipping thing. I've really never worked in a job that I've had to get tips before.
You're not going to give me this Buscemi speech from Reservoir Dogs, or
no. Okay. I since I never have, I mean, I think, right, and I have always felt this way, that if I am valued and paid decently, then I perform, right, and I perform well, and it's more of a pleasure to go to work. You know, you start having high pressure. I mean, because I mean, it is. It's high pressure sales when you're in a tipping environment, because you're trying to deliver, you know, service to a level that you can make money on your client. So, but it's very subjective, because maybe they just don't believe in tipping, or maybe they just don't tip well. It's not a real indicator of your abilities and your customer service. It's not, because not everybody thinks the same. So if a restaurant were to pay a regular wage, and you know, you don't really have to tip, I mean, I would think as a consumer that'd be more of an incentive for me to go somewhere saying, hey, you know what, if this meal is $12.99, I'm paying $12.99 plus tax, and I don't have to worry about an extra 15 or 20%. Just because they're being taken care of already. Their employer is paying them. I'm not having to pay the wages. It's just kind of my way of thinking. It may be wrong. I may get a lot of pushback. I don't really know. But that's just, it's a theory. It's a thought. If people think, you know, different, or if they want to, you know, kind of give me some different perspective, great. Hey, post it on my page. Post it on.
The thing with that is there's no server anywhere that's earning $7.50 to $10 an hour. There's none of them. They're not out there.
Unless they work in a different type of industry. You know what I mean?
Well,
an adult industry, a mature industry, maybe. So.
Okay, so bottom line, if you got the courage to eat from there, go for it. Then don't tip.
Oh, I got the courage to eat from there.
If you get the courage, but me, that's not where I'm going to order my steak. Sorry, I don't need any. I don't need any of the extra sauce.
I think that's where I'll order my ham sandwich.
I don't need any extra mayo either. So
let's get to Star Wars.
Yes.
God. I can go on forever like this and be totally disgusting.
I'm sure.
But let's not.
That's my limit right there.
Let's not prime the pump. Let's not wet my whistle, so to say. And let's carry on with the true spirit and the context of the show. All bets are off.
Well, we're gonna jam some Disney Plus right now. I mean it.
Oh, okay. Tell everybody. Tell everybody what you did, and I'm gonna tell everybody why I agree with you.
What do you mean?
What you did? What you told me earlier during pre-production. If people were watching it on Instagram Live, go ahead.
What do you mean? What I did? I didn't do anything.
What you did? What you just recently did?
What I recently did?
Stop. Tell me.
Right, you're throwing me a curveball. We were gonna talk.
Okay, Disney. Okay, fine. We'll get to that. Fine. Okay. Do your thing, bro.
You're gonna have to remind me, because that just doesn't. That doesn't.
Spider.
Dude, that doesn't. That doesn't compute.
All right, man. Okay, what were we gonna talk about? What were we gonna say? Disney Plus. Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
So, first on Disney Plus, I mean, we got Loki going on.
Okay. Yes, we do.
Oh, wait, it just hit me. Oh my gosh, you know how sometimes.
God.
You know, sometimes it takes the hamster a few spins. I got it on the third spin.
Yeah, you got to get the hamster wheel going. All right.
But we'll talk about the Premier Access thing in a second. So,
all right. Yeah. Okay. So talk about
Loki. So
yeah.
Loki, it's been a fantastic series up to now. It's just, I mean, Tom Hiddleston. No. I mean, it still is. It hasn't. faltered one bit.
Uh-huh.
Hiddleston is just hitting a total home run with this. It's awesome.
Well, he's a fantastic actor with great range.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in the most recent episode, in the last 2 episodes, we've discovered that the TVA is just, it's a bunch of hogwash. There is no real TVA going on that's monitoring. There are no timekeepers that are monitoring timelines. This is all being orchestrated probably by one evil entity. And now Loki has gone into this void. And he's also there with all his other variations of Loki. Mm-hmm. And that's what's awesome. We're seeing all these other variations of Loki from other timelines coming through. There's a Thor Loki. There's an old man Loki, and there's this kid that's Loki, and then they even threw in an alligator Loki, so they made him a lizard. So, and he's seeing all these variations of himself, and the lady Loki, his lady Loki persona, she's followed him into this void, and they're just hell bent on finding out who is manipulating and controlling all this stuff. And it's getting really fascinating going forward as to where it's got one more show left coming into this Wednesday, and I'm really interested to see where it bottles the end. But I think it could be heading towards all this this Doctor Strange multi-timeline stuff. That's because the Doctor Strange film is coming up.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this earlier. This whole a COVID shutdown with the movies and everything. It was kind of a good opportunity for the Marvel Cinematic Universe to kind of have this stretch, and they did with the WandaVision, and now with Loki, and now they're going to have it with What If, kind of leading up into the new movies that will be coming out later this year and then next year subsequently. Now, whether or not they're going to continue to do the premiere access with these Marvel movies is yet to be seen. We'll see. I'm not opposed to it. I still like the idea of going to a movie. I kind of like that idea of going on a Friday night, getting popcorn, hot dog, icy, and then going and seeing it in IMAX or an IMAX 3D, which is an incredible experience if you've ever been able to do that.
Oh, I've done IMAX.
Yeah, it's fantastic, especially doing 3D. I'm one of those people that don't really get.
Honestly, though, the screen is too big.
It is. It really is. It's big, but you have to kind of sit in a good spot. But here in
Even
Miami,
if I'm all the way to the back, it's still too big.
Well, here in Miami, you have several IMAX theaters, and you have these IMAX and then like these IMAX 3D pluses or something like that. But there's still something about that experience, and whether or not they continue to put it on Disney Plus, also with Premiere Access, is yet to be seen. And I would be totally fine with it if people decided to do it. Like, hey, I don't really want to go out. I'm going to spend this money, and then, Disney just banks right there. They just make that $30.
So, why wouldn't they keep it? I don't understand. It's just incremental money. I don't understand why they wouldn't keep the service. If people are going to go to the theater, they're going to go to the theater, no matter. No, they're going to make that decision. Just I don't see it taken away from ticket sales.
No, I don't think
I just see it adding.
I don't think it's going to take away from the studio. I don't think it's going to take away from the studio. It may take away from the theater venues. Now, it may do that.
I'm not so sold on that.
I don't know. I don't know. But I would see it possibly doing that. Because it's expensive. It's kind of difficult. It can be, especially here where I live in Doral, it's very dense. You try to go to the movies down in Dolphin Mall where they have the Dolphin Cinema, and it can get packed. If you don't buy your tickets early, like a few days ahead of time, and choose your seats, you're gonna get something kind of crappy. So you have to kind of do all this pre-planning before. But yeah, if you have the Disney Plus, you pay the Premiere Access. What are you doing? You're just paying $30, and guess what? Kick back, and then you're watching it at home where you're comfortable, and then you don't have to drive anywhere, and you can just be in your underwear like I normally am.
like I am right now.
Prove it. You want me to? Oh, you want me to?
Did you really just say that?
Yeah.
Did you really just say that?
Yeah. Because I'm in my underwear. I'm in my underwear, and they're red, white, and blue. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh.
I'm at home. So what?
And yet another low on All Fets Are Off.
Like literally, it was low because it's below the waist.
I mean, I did the Premier Access, and I priced what 2 seats were for tickets, and our schedule has been hectic the last few days, and I mean, we have 4 little runts that Anna's trying to give a shot at having a furry feline life, right? And
well, they have 9 of them.
You have 9?
No, they have 9 lives.
Oh, whatever.
It's a joke.
Yeah, okay. Next.
You're probably not the right.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been busy, man.
So I mean, I priced. You know, I looked at Santikos, I looked at Regal, I looked at Draft House, I looked at all of them, and 2 seats all came up. I think the cheapest one after tax was $27.
But so, think about that. You pay for sodas, drinks, maybe you go to dinner.
No. Yeah, by then you're
well over
it.
50, 60
yeah.
bucks.
So, I mean, Premier Access gives you access to the film as long as you have your Disney Plus subscription.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one bummer is it tells you will be available on Disney Plus on October 6th. I mean, it already tells. I mean, that's literally around the corner. But
I mean, for everyone else that didn't pay for Premier Access. Okay,
right.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, to see it now, I don't regret it, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But still staying with the Disney Plus side of things, I'm going to shift again.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people may realize this, but even though the Chadwick Boseman, the Marvel's Panther, is no longer with us, he actually has one more grand finale performance coming, and that's coming up August 11th.
Oh, on the What If?
Mm-hmm. Because he voiced for What If.
Okay. So
we're gonna get.
Okay, so I don't know if that's his final performance, but
well, I mean, it is his final. I mean, he's
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's incredible that he was able to do that before he passed.
But What If is going to be some cool stuff.
Yeah, I looked at the trailer. It's nuts. It's incredible. I like.
I want to see. I want to see the zombie stuff.
Yeah.
What If is gonna do Marvel Zombies?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that. I want to see Spider-Man, Captain America, all the Avengers. Mm-hmm. I want to go see them ruthlessly devour innocent people.
Is it?
I'm ready for it to happen.
And isn't it Captain? It's Agent Captain Carter now, or whatever. Is it
Captain Carter? Or not Agent Carter?
Yeah, it's Captain Carter. She didn't even go. She didn't even call herself Captain UK or Captain.
See, and Chadwick Boseman
British
takes
team.
On the role of Star-Lord instead of Panther.
I know, it's so weird, right?
Yeah, it's cool. I'm liking where this is going.
Yeah, there's just so much you can do with it. And this is the kind of stuff that guys like us want to see. We want to see this kind of this weird what if stuff. These are things that they do in the comics all the time. I mean, you see crossovers, you see alternate universes, you see what if. Perfect example, Superman Red Son. What if he landed in the Soviet Union instead of, rural United States, Kansas? I mean, all these different parallel universe things, it's great because, I mean, there's only so much that you can do with, the original story and timeline. You can only be retold so many times. They can go through the same thing over and over and over again. But when you have these alternate universe type things, it keeps us interested because then it's really cool because then it changes our whole perception of what those characters were. If you read the whole Injustice Gods Among Us comic series that leads up to the original video game, it just makes you feel weird because you see Superman as evil, as upset and pissed and hurt and broken. You see him vulnerable, and you're just not used to it. It gives you kind of a very strange and eerie and goosebumpy feeling. But with these Marvel What Ifs, I think that it's only been, 12 years that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been going? No, 12, 13 years since Iron Man came out.
Iron Man was out in 2008?
Something like that. Yeah, so this is all still fresh in people's mind, but still enough time has passed, and we know enough about the Infinity Saga that you can do something like this, and it's like, wow, this is super cool because now I'm seeing him in a different way instead of just the normal cameo type way, or they tie into a different storyline. It's great. It's great. I'm excited. This is good stuff. This is the stuff that keeps us interested.
Yep.
Definitely. So, what else do we want to talk about?
Well, we got Bad Batch. That's still going on.
Okay. All right. So
and
where are we at there?
This last episode, I enjoyed it so much. And
about time?
What do you mean about time?
Nothing. Go ahead.
When was I complaining on Bad Batch?
Never. Go ahead. I didn't say anything. No.
You had a rather facetious tone when you mentioned that. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I have feetsies tones.
I don't recall complaining on Bad Batch, but
okay, go ahead.
But while I didn't complain, a whole slew of people complained about this last episode. Just
okay, why?
Most of the complaints dealt with, we didn't even see Bad Batch in the episode much. We don't understand why they're not focusing on Bad Batch more. Folks need to understand how this is being set up. They're missing it. So
how it's being set up, or why it's being set up?
Both.
Okay, why is it being set up?
First of all, just because you have the Bad Batch and the show is mainly, it's titled after them, it's about them, but even though you have the main focus of the show around those characters, it doesn't necessarily mean that there wasn't other stuff going on. So people need to understand that the Bad Batch are where they are right now, because what we're witnessing right now is post Order 66 and the rise of the Empire and the birth of the rebellion. We're witnessing these things happening right before our eyes. The Empire, with the remaining clones, is going out to other the systems within the former Republic, and they're pretty much stretching their long arm of the law on those systems and letting them know just this is going to be life under the Empire. While opposite that, you have those who are resistant to such new ways of life. They're not all on board with an Imperial takeover. It's not what they envisioned when the Clone Wars ended. It's not what they felt they were promised. So you have a group like the Bad Batch whose chips were not activated during Order 66, and these guys have basically gone rogue, and they're doing mercenary work to keep going. But what was cool about this episode is you got to see the Imperial takeover and occupation of Ryloth. And Ryloth was a big planet because, an important planet because that's where all the Twi'leks are from. But one Twi'lek in particular that was important and essential to the spark of the rebellion, Hera Syndulla. So in this episode, we got to see Hera Syndulla's parents, because her father was the ruler of the planet along with his wife, and we even got to see Chopper. So she had Chopper while she was growing up.
Get to the chopper!
Not that Chopper.
All right.
the astromech chopper from whatever.
Got it.
So, yeah, okay.
Hey, real quick. So we got a really bad thunderstorm coming to Doral.
Right now,
Yeah, it's on the way. So it's.
are we going to cut out?
I hope not.
Are you going to
Sometimes,
lose power?
sometimes like it cuts out for a second. I haven't lost power for like a long period of time.
Okay.
But sometimes it cuts out. But if that happens, we know why, and
Hopefully it doesn't happen.
We'll just know why. So I just wanted to point that out. So
Okay. That's that big red blop on your map there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's yeah. And it's been like that all day, man. I mean, we had a massive thunderstorm around was it 11:30 this morning? It just this huge system just came off of the Atlantic, and it pushed through, and we had about 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Yeah, it was nuts.
You know what? Isn't that the strangest thing? Because I read it doesn't ever hardly rain in Florida.
Well, they do call it the Sunshine State, but that's a load of crap because it's been raining for like a month straight. It's been, and to include, Elsa, kind of skirting through and going through the West Coast. We didn't really get anything here, other than some showers. But apparently there's some, tropical wave that's not going to turn into anything, but it's coming off tomorrow. So, yeah, it's been fun and interesting. But
yeah,
that's just in case we go out. That's why. Okay, but carry on with your bad batch.
So you're witnessing this, and you're witnessing this. Cara Syndulla looks to be about the age of a teenager, and she's basically spying on an Imperial camp, and she gets caught in the act, and you have one of the clone commanders who, I mean, his chip functioned, but even he is starting to question some of the actions that are being done by the Imperials because they want to take Hera prisoner, and he's looking at his Imperial commander and saying, she's just a child, she's just a kid. And they look back at him and say, no, she's an insurgent. So even he realizes that he's beginning to question things. So it's just interesting, the dynamic that's taking place. You have the Empire coming to power, but in that you're watching these little pockets and you're witnessing the formation of a rebellion. And I think it's important that even while we did have the Clone Wars and while we did have Rebels, I think it's important that this stuff come to light so that people can see the little things that took place that had these things come to be. So even while the episode didn't focus completely on the Bad Batch, that's okay because we're witnessing how the rebellion comes to fruition.
Oh, I hear the kittens.
Yes.
You'll be smitten.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So cool. I'll eventually catch up to all of it. I will.
Eventually.
So what's next here? We got about 15 minutes. What are we going on next?
Well, so big movie news. I mean,
okay.
Just
movie news, not show.
Well, movies, it would seem.
Okay.
So no, not on the show. No, not.
Oh, babies! Ah, so cute! Oh my god!
So
you little babies.
Okay, so this one, everybody, is Ash.
Ash, like from Evil Dead.
This one's called Ash because it has a rather light gray color.
Oh, not because of Evil Dead. All right.
There's a darker gray one, and that one's name is Cinder, but because this
Cinder,
one's lighter.
I like that name. Very cool.
This one's Ash, and Ash is one of the hungrier feeders, actually. So, yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
That was impromptu. So,
Aww.
well, so big movies, news and movies. Not a lot of people may know this, but Zack Snyder, director of Army of the Dead from Netflix, the Netflix original,
Mm-hmm.
director
and the 4-hour Justice League,
director of the Snyder Cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Zack Snyder, years ago, before Lucasfilm was sold to Disney,
Mm-hmm.
approached Lucasfilm and pitched an idea that he wanted to do for a Star Wars movie that he wanted to direct.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it wasn't going to get picked up. I'm not going to say Lucasfilm told him to kick rocks, but they didn't want it. Right. So he shelved it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, seeing how things have done very well for him on HBO Max with the Snyder Cut, and then also on Netflix with Army of the Dead. I mean, let's face it, he's just a hot commodity right now.
Yeah.
He is the chatter amongst directors on the internet right now. Netflix has told him that they are going to go ahead and pick up this movie.
Oh, okay.
And do it as a Netflix original. Not only are they picking this film up, but they're giving him a multi-film deal to go ahead and do some of the others that he had planned within that story, because he was going to do more than one. So the title immediately has me captivated, because what he was going to name the Star Wars film was Rebel Moon.
That's cool.
It is cool. It's extremely cool. It's got such a Rogue One feel to it. I love it. And the title is going to stay the same. The name of the movie coming to Netflix will be Rebel Moon.
Okay.
And this is going to be a sci-fi film, and he's going to make the necessary changes so that, you know, CEOs from Disney don't go knocking at Netflix's door with a multi-trillion-dollar lawsuit or whatever. But it has already been let out the bag that this was going to be his Star Wars movie, and it was going to be dark, and it was going to be mature.
That's cool, man.
It is extremely cool, but I've got so many points on this, it's not even funny. I mean, is it any coincidence that since 2015 to now, when the sequels ended, that there were haters like yourself that can't stand the sequels, and the Star Wars...
I can stand them.
No, you can't.
Just not The Last Jedi.
Stop lying.
Just not The Last Jedi. That's the only one I have a real... I mean, it's not the only one, but I mean...
So, you have all these sequel haters. The community, the Star Wars fan community, is completely divided. Completely divided. Yes.
Okay.
They're completely divided. You have fans that are telling others, no, you're not real fans if you like the sequels. You guys are just pretend. Even though those fans have been watching Star Wars since the 70s, they're being told that no, you can't be a fan if you enjoyed these movies that we see as trash.
Look, I see. Here's the thing: Star Wars is for everybody. So
it is.
So why are people acting like they are the authority?
I don't know.
On what
I don't know where
like
it all started. It's annoying. Like. It's the most annoying thing ever.
It's the whole reason we even have a show, because
if you want to go to a spot,
I have a viewpoint. Come on.
If you want to go to a spot where you can see all this stuff going down, just go to Star Wars Meme Strike Back. Every single person posting on there is a sequel hater. All of them. They're just there posting away. Ray this, Finn that, Rose Tico this.
I think...
can't stand 8. I can't stand 7. Nine was garbage.
I think we're just
every other post.
We're just gonna have to wait, all right? Because you saw the same thing with the prequel trilogy. Now,
no, right.
Everybody, not necessarily loves the story that went with it, but they love the characters. Hayden Christensen as Anakin and Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. I mean, it's almost become like this revival and this cult loving of it.
But you know what you didn't have with the prequels at that time?
Internet
competition. So
yeah, that's true.
Here you have all these haters that are just right now. They've still got this bitter taste, even though it's Episode 9 was out in 2019. I mean, they still have this bitter taste in their mouth from the sequels.
Mm-hmm.
Here you have swooping in, and I'm gonna say swooping in.
Mm-hmm.
But here you have swooping in Zack Snyder and Netflix saying, "Hey guys, guess what? Zack Snyder, sometime back, wanted to do Star Wars movies, but didn't get the chance. And now we at Netflix, just so happen to be opposite of Disney Plus, just so happen that we don't like Disney Plus. Not that maybe they don't like Disney Plus, but they would rather that you not be with Disney Plus, that you would be with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, just so happens that we're gonna take this guy, and we're gonna tell him, you know what? Go ahead and do your movie. Can't call it Star Wars, but everyone knows it's Star Wars. So go ahead. You know, they are completely just shining the mod at Disney Plus right now. Netflix is putting Disney Plus on notice without directly saying it. Mm-hmm. They're just telling Disney, "Hey guys, you know those 3 movies you did that all your fans say they suck? Well,
this
just
is
so
healthy competition, man. This is
just so happens we've got one of the hottest directors on the market that wanted to do Star Wars movies that you could have had, but you didn't take it. Lucas didn't take it, but we're going to go ahead and make those movies a reality."
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's competition. It's just more content for us. There's no complaint. Right. There's no complaining because it's more. It's just more.
I am a Star Wars fan and I always will be, but knowing that Zack Snyder was gonna do Star Wars movies and he didn't get the opportunity, and now Netflix is gonna allow him to go through the creative process and see those stories through, even though it's not through a Star Wars lens.
Yeah.
But just knowing that that's what it would have been, that's enough. Sign me up. That's enough for me. That's more than enough for me. Yeah. I want to see this come to screen.
Yeah. Me too. This is great, man. Hey, we got about 5 minutes. Do you want to drop something real quick? Some big news?
Some big news.
Yeah.
I just dropped what I thought was big news.
No, I'm talking about what you did.
Oh, so okay.
And why I agree.
I thought we covered this already.
Well.
Okay, so.
No, we didn't.
I did purchase Black Widow on Premier Access.
Okay, and which I normally am vehemently against.
But
I agree with you because you've been busy with the cats.
Because of crazy schedules, I mean.
Yes.
It just seemed to make sense compared to what 2 movie tickets were.
Absolutely.
I still get to see the movie. I can see it on a schedule that works at my home. And I have access to it all the way through October 6th when it's actually going to come on Disney Plus. Get to see as many times as I want. I have access to bonus material. Just seems to be a no-brainer.
Yeah, no-brainer.
So man. I hope they keep Premier Access.
We'll see.
They did it as a COVID thing, and I get it. That's why it came about.
If it's profitable,
but
why not?
To give folks an option, especially folks that can't always go to the movies, to give them an option to say, yes, I'll spend this ticket money so I can see it at home. Why not?
Why not, man? Definitely why not?
I mean, you have Amazon doing early rent access. Vudu does it. So I mean,
¿Por qué no?
we'll see what HBO does. HBO has announced that after, I believe it's The Matrix in December,
Mm-hmm. Matrix 4.
that everything after that goes directly to theater.
Okay.
But perhaps HBO will look at. They just said that they will no longer have it directly to HBO Max at no additional charge. Perhaps HBO Max will do what Disney Plus is doing with Premier Access.
Premier Access. And why not? Because now what you can do is you can reach an audience that previously was untapped, because now that we have that you can stream 4K and all these other great things, you really don't lose fidelity unless you're just watching it on like a cheap TV, but you don't really lose fidelity as far as picture quality, not so much sound, but if you have a great home stereo system, that's awesome, but you don't lose the fidelity by watching it at home anymore, because this is in VHS, this is streaming on 4K, and they can still make money off of people who prefer to just stay home. It's like, no, I don't ever want to go to the movies. No, screw it. I'll wait till it comes out on Netflix, or I can rent it. However, now you can make money off of both. Some people just prefer to go to the movies. I would love to go to the movies. I enjoy it. It's an experience.
I do too.
It's a Friday night.
But
I'll still do that. And I'll still do that. You're paying for an experience, and that's what I'll do. So, well, Brian, I know we went on a little bit late. It took me a little while to get home, but it's good that we're stopping now, because it looks like the storm is really about to hit us, and I don't want to lose power. But so we'll be back. We'll be back next week. Yeah, nothing going on, hopefully, and we'll be back, and we'll talk some more. Hopefully, I'll be caught up with some things. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe I can contribute to the conversation a little bit more in our show that I co-host. But it was good to be back and chat with you. Good luck with the kittens, man. Really good luck. We'll check back in with you. You should post. You haven't posted anything on the All Fetts Are Off page about that. You've just been posting on your normal Facebook.
Yeah.
But post something. Have our audience check it out and see what you've been up to, man. That's a great thing you're doing, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
But okay, well, Brian, stay safe out there. Have a good night.
All right.
Tell Anna say hi, and we're gonna yub up out of here, everybody.
Yub up out of here.
Good night.